What's up, everybody? Hope everyone is having a great rest of their night so far. I'm with Jason from Stadium Drive Podcast. Jason, it is a pleasure. It's an honor to have you on the show. I know we talk a lot off of just on social media. I think you were one of the first when you came out with your podcast. I followed you, and we exchanged messages. So, Jason, tell everyone that is joining the show about your podcast and just talk about how you became a Miami Hurricanes fan yourself. So you have the floor, Jason. Go for it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you having me on. Yeah, Stadium Drive is myself. I'm a huge Miami Hurricane fan. My buddy Joe, who is a diehard Florida State fan. So as you can imagine, we disagree on many things. And then we also have my buddy Brad on, who is a Georgia fan. And we just talk all things sports. In the beginning, it was going to be a Miami and FSU only podcast, but we decided to expand. But yeah, I mean, we've had Manny Navarro on to talk some Canes. We've had Brett Romberg, Randall Thrill Hill jumped on. This past week we interviewed Amon Richards, which he's a super cool guy. It was a real good interview. Actually today, an hour ago, we had Jaquez Patrick on, who played at Florida State.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Who's now with the XFL, the Tampa Bay Vipers.
Right, running back, right?
Yeah, yep.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, man. So pretty much, yeah, we talk to any athletes who want to jump on, or any athletes that we reach out to and they come back to us. I mean, baseball, football, basketball, it doesn't really matter. We like to have a good time, talk sports. So it's pretty much
absolutely.
But,
that's awesome.
How I became a Miami fan, it's it's kind of weird. My entire immediate family, mom, dad, sister, brother, Florida State fans, diehard Florida State fans. Myself, it was my grandparents lived in Miami for a little bit, so they were Miami fans, and I went that route and just became a Miami fan because of them. I would go to their house and watch games. When they moved up here to Georgia, they would watch games. I would go over there and watch games. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, I've been a Miami fan ever since I could talk, pretty much. So, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Jason, let's get right into it, man. Let's go over the offseason about Coach Manny Diaz. What do you like from this offseason compared to last offseason? What are the differences? And then I'll chime in afterwards. I want to hear your perspective on this offseason.
Well, the big thing is Ed Reed, bringing Ed Reed on. Now, I know Rhett Lashley is also a huge hire in himself, but having Ed Reed as your chief of staff and Hall of Famer, just it's incredible to have him be on campus and to just be around the program more. That's a huge game changer in itself.
Absolutely.
And Rhett Lashley with this fast-paced, high-octane offense. I mean, that's something that I am so excited to watch.
And Jason, do you think this offseason tops last offseason at all, or it evens out?
Look, I would say it tops it, because of the Ed Reed thing and Lashley. I like Lashley a lot better than Dan Enos.
Absolutely.
When Dan Enos was hired, I was like, oh man, he's coming from Alabama. We're gonna be great. I wasn't even thinking about the scheme or anything like that. And so yeah, pretty much Ed Reed's the deal breaker. I mean, that's huge.
Absolutely. And also, I think the quality of transfer portal players as well. I mean, we got Quincy Roche, who had 13 sacks in the AAC.
Yeah.
That tops Trayvon Hill in Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
We also get Jose Borregales, who's FIU's kicker. That was a must we needed at kicker because Bubba Baxa wasn't cutting it, obviously.
You say his name a lot better than I can.
Oh, no, it's all good, man. It's all good. Don't worry. Actually, I speak Spanish proficiently, so living in Miami too, you got to practice a lot.
That's true. Yeah.
But also we get Derek King, who I think was probably the best quarterback prospect in the transfer portal since Justin Fields.
Oh, most definitely.
And I mean, I think it's just going to be a killer combination with Rhett Lashley and De'Aaron King. I mean, look what he did with Shane Buechele this past
Yeah.
season, who was an outcast at Texas. Sam Ellinger took his job and kicked him out, basically. So I'm just ecstatic over that, and I think he's killed it this offseason.
Yeah. People, we had the inside scoop on the Roche transfer before a lot of people. I posted it on our Twitter.
You did,
At Stadium Drive. Did. I knew some people up in the area up there in Temple, and I was also talking to somebody in Miami who was pretty well connected. And a lot of people didn't believe us. A lot of people was throwing out, we're fake and all that. And I was just like, well, it comes with it. But yeah, we got word that Quincy was going to come to Miami a lot sooner than a lot of other people did.
And was it the De'Aaron King effect that sealed the deal, or what's the genesis behind that decision with Roche coming to Miami?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I know that I believe him and King were in contact, before Roche committed. I know he was looking at Virginia Tech, and I know distance was kind of a thing, but it wasn't. I was told that distance wasn't as big as what people were saying it was. But yeah, I'm glad to have him. De'Aaron King also. I mean, that's huge.
Oh yeah, I think that's the deal breaker right there.
Yeah, personal opinion, and it could be a unpopular opinion, but if De'Aaron King would have came out, 2, 3, 4 weeks before, I think he would be at Georgia right now. Honestly, I really think. Yeah, I think Georgia. Yeah, I think Georgia would have jumped on him, and how Georgia's been going the past. Georgia's been rolling. They just haven't gotten over that hump. I really think if Georgia would have gotten in contact with him, if he would have entered the portal before Georgia got Newman, I think he would be a Bulldog. But I'm super glad to have him in Miami, and he's going to ball out. I know it.
Well, speaking of De'Aaron King, man, let's talk about this offense real quick. As we all know, regarding the circumstances, spring has been canceled. And I want to pick the brain of different Miami Hurricanes fans, different perspectives. Just in general, college football fans, how much is canceling spring going to affect Miami specifically?
Oh, man. It sucks so bad because, new offense, new quarterback. I think it's going to hurt a lot just because of building that team chemistry together in spring. I know they're doing like video chats and stuff with the team, but it's not the same. It's not the same as getting out on the practice field.
Absolutely.
And so I don't know. Hopefully, cross our fingers that something can get resolved and some craziness can move out of here so we can get some football back.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that is really going to affect a lot of teams right now. Look at Florida State. Look at Michigan State. Mike Norvell. Was it Melvin Tucker? My apologies. Mel Tucker is his name at Michigan State, the head coach.
Yep. Mel Tucker, yep.
Their whole spring to develop players, to buy into their system is completely canceled.
It's gone.
Miami just has to worry about a new offense.
Right.
These guys, it's literally a new system. How do your players rally around a new head coach when, spring is bonding, going into build that momentum into the fall? So that's the teams I think are really going to be affected, and teams who don't have a legit quarterback, where a quarterback competition is still at hand, such as teams possibly like Virginia Tech and Virginia, who they haven't named a starter yet. So I think those teams specifically are going to be affected.
I mean, they say we have a quarterback competition in Miami, but we know who the quarterback's going to be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And also, I mean, when do you think they can be fully adjusted with this offense? Because luckily Miami's first 3 games are pretty easy until we play Michigan State. So when do you think things will settle down and we'll see a legit offense? Because I think it's going to be quite conservative at first.
Yeah, I think it's going to be conservative. I think, the first 2 games, I think by the 3rd game, I think they'll start clicking and start, going more and more in depth into the playbook for that Michigan State matchup. So yeah, I believe by the 3rd game.
And then, what is basically, how is this offense going to thrive year 1 under Coach Rhett Lashley? Because, last year under Enos, we were sold on a cutting edge system. I
Yeah.
mean, we can get going forever, but what ways are you looking for, for this offense to succeed? Because we're going to go up tempo. We're going to go no huddle. We're literally just getting to the line of scrimmage and we're calling a play within 10 seconds every single time.
And that's going to be the thing is playing fast, playing up tempo, using the Miami Heat to the advantage, not the basketball team, the actual heat and humidity as an advantage because in Enos's, last year we would run all the time off of the clock before we even snapped the ball. Like, what are you doing? You use the heat to your advantage. Run fast. So yeah, running fast. I think it's going to be great.
No, you have to be well conditioned. That's a very good point.
Yeah,
Something I didn't really think of, because teams like UNC that are going to be coming down, Pittsburgh, even we're playing Virginia Tech. They're not used to that hot weather that Miami is used to, and plus we have Coach Feely's strength and conditioning program. We're going to be a very well conditioned team, and you have to be well conditioned to face this offense. So that's a great point, Jason, that you made.
Yeah, man.
And Jason, what am I looking for? What needs to happen for Miami specifically to have a successful season? Because last year, I mean, we were talking about beating Florida week 1, then we get slapped in the face against North Carolina. Ultimately, we go 6-7. We get embarrassed by FIU and Louisiana Tech. What needs to change for Miami to finally have a 11-win season or a 10-win season? Because I'm sick and tired of going 6-7, 7-5, 8-4. I'm tired of it. I want to win 11 or 12 games.
Man,
so what needs to change this season?
You're telling me, man. I am surrounded by Florida State and Georgia fans up here. Oh, man. Even though we've had Florida State's number the past 3 years, it's still – but, yeah, man, one thing is a kicker, I mean, there's a lot of field goals that Miami missed last year, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but you turn a couple of those misses into makes.
Absolutely.
We might have, 7, 8, maybe 9 wins, maybe, even with the Enos offense. So, yeah, I mean, number one thing is get that kicking game on point, which I believe it will be for this year and also years in the future with Borgalis's little brother coming on.
Right, absolutely.
But, yeah, that and just I don't know. I mean, the defense is going to be there. I think it's just going to be the offense clicking, which I believe they will. I mean, we have a ton of athletes on the offense, and I don't have a doubt that they'll get it together and be able to click.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at Bubba Bax's misses. I mean, against North Carolina, he could have tied the game up. We didn't finish at all on the goal line. We had great drives. Total offense actually went for like 494 yards or more.
That's another thing that you have to finish in the red zone. I mean, you've got to finish.
Absolutely.
To win ball games.
And that's something I felt like we were probably one of the worst teams in the nation at, besides converting on third downs, offensive line protecting our quarterback.
Yeah.
Red zone offense was just god awful. I remember doing an end around with Brevin Jordan against UVA, was it? Just to gain a couple yards, just to push it in. I think you went crazy as well.
I went nuts. My Twitter, my personal Twitter during game like the season is just I say a lot of things that I regret, but I go crazy.
And what position group specifically? We'll start off with offense, and then we'll work our way to defense. Scare you that you're scratching your head at night, just thinking, man, that can really be trouble moving forward.
Okay, well, I believe it's going to have to be offensive line for the offense. I mean, our offensive line gave up 1 million sacks last year. I think that of our offensive line needs to definitely improve, which I'm sure they will. I mean, Coach Justice seems like a really good coach, and he's gotten some praise from some pretty big alumni, Bryant McKinney and Brett Romberg and guys like that. So I believe they'll improve.
Absolutely. I just don't want to interrupt you real quick. Thank you very much, Joseph Holmes, for the $5 donation. I greatly appreciate your support, man. I greatly appreciate everyone's support. I cannot do it without you guys. So thank you so much, Joseph Holmes. That truly does mean the world to me. So thank you again, Mr. Holmes. Greatly appreciate it. And what's your confidence level with Garen Justice? Because you take a look at his resume. He was at FAU under, was it Lane Kiffin? Then
Yep.
he was the OC and offensive line coach at UNLV, who, to be honest, I'm not too familiar with their football program, only that Dave Aranda kind of wanted the job for a moment.
Yeah.
So do you trust Garen Justice? Now, he has reached out to Bryant McKinney, Brett Romberg, just to look over film, which was a positive step. He's accepting to the University of Miami culture and the alumni. So what are your early thoughts on Garen Justice? Do you think he'll get the job done?
I believe so. I've actually spoke to Garen Justice, and
Wow.
yeah,
Very cool.
he's a great guy, super nice guy. And like you said, I love that he reaches out to the alumni. When I had Brett Romberg on the podcast, we talked some Garen Justice, and he had high praise for him. I'm in talks with Bryant McKinney to have him on the show. We haven't set a date yet, but we're in talks, and he as well. He says nothing but great things about Garen. Before all this craziness in the world happened, Bryant would go to Miami a lot, and they would go over film. So I believe so. I believe he's going to get it done. It might not be this year. I mean, they're going to be. I believe they'll be improved this year.
Okay.
But he's going to definitely have to get some guys in there. Hopefully, cross my finger for a grad transfer.
No, yeah, absolutely. I think it's depth. I think the talent is there if you look at recruiting and where the stars were for a lot of these players. But it's going to take over time to develop a solid offensive line, specifically depth-wise. And once you get some recruits in there, that can actually contribute moving forward, I think we'll be fine. And just getting adjusted to the no-huddle offense. You got to be in shape. Devon Donaldson, how much weight did he gain in the offseason?
Yeah, man's got to put some. How much weight is he gaining right now? Hopefully none.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a big question mark.
We got to be well conditioned, and guys like Cleveland Reed who leave and come back. I don't know what the situation was, but I feel like George Brown was not even an asset. Zach Dykstra, Bar Milo. I can go on for days.
So a lot of guys. Yeah, a lot of guys. I was excited about Bar Milo, and then he came and he was.
And he just left.
I don't think he played. Yeah, and then George Brown. I thought he transferred in from LSU. I was like, man, we're getting a pretty good guy here, and he just didn't never pan out. So yeah.
And then how about defensively? What position group is very thin? I'll say mine first. I'm scared as hell. I just saw an article with Mike Rumpf.
We're about to agree. Yeah. Yeah.
Cornerback play. There's only 4 scholarship corners. Okay, we're getting Isaiah Dunson and we're getting Marcus Clark. Yeah, we've never seen them play in a college game. We don't know what to expect from them. Only we have his high school film. Christian Williams, Corey Couch. Corey Couch is our only option at the nickel, covering the slot receiver. I mean, I'm not too confident with that cornerback group. Is there any silver lining there, or?
I really don't know. That is a huge concern of mine. We're paper thin. If Rump will have me, I'll come down. I'll play a few snaps at corner. I'll probably get burnt, but I'll be a little depth. It's super paper thin, and I'm nervous.
No, I hear you. And linebacker play as well
Yep.
is concerning for me because so many injuries and it's more serious injuries. Wayman Steed tore his ACL 2 times in a year.
Yeah.
2 times each season, basically. And, Bradley Jennings, he's been out for quite a while. Patrick Joyner as well. Zach McLeod's our leading veteran, basically.
Yeah, Zach McLeod's going to be the anchor, the guy that the defense has to rally around. We're going to gain some speed, but also, I mean, it's inexperience and like you said, injuries. So we'll see about that one as well.
And let me ask you, Jason, with all this, we're talking about, position groups being slim. We have one more scholarship left. Who would you offer that scholarship to, and to what position?
Oh man, it would have to be somebody in the defensive back. I mean, it would a cornerback, a nickel, somebody, a DB.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the next question. Jason, what players are you most excited about going into the 2020 season?
Well, despite the obvious, the new transfers that came in who are going to ball out, I'm really excited to see Cam Harris this year.
Cam Harris.
feel like he's been putting in a ton of work. He was one of my favorite recruits coming out of high school. Everybody always talked about Lingard and didn't really talk a whole lot about Cam just because Lingard was that almighty 5-star, which means nothing to me.
Right.
Stars mean nothing once you get into college. So yeah, Cam Harris is someone that I'm really looking forward to seeing play this year.
Okay, I think he's going to do very well. I'm also excited about his counterpart, Jalen Knighton.
Yeah,
That's who I'm most
Rooster.
excited about because
Yeah.
not only when he flipped from Florida State to Miami, I was surprised, and I thought Coach Diaz was turning the corner when that happened. But man, I just think he's going to be special in this offense. I really do. I think he's going to be a star. I really do. I'm excited about him. I don't know why I'm so excited over a true freshman who hasn't played a snap of college football.
Yeah.
But I just got this hunch about him that I don't know, man. I think he's going to kill it. I really do.
Yeah.
And also, wait, go for it, Jason.
The entire backfield is elite. I mean, we've got some ballers in the backfield. It's going to be fun to watch this year for sure.
How do you think Don Chaney's what's his role going to be in this offense? Because, back wise, just looking at his skill set, I don't think he fits a, spread rate offense. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not exactly sure. I was actually talking to someone about that the other week, and I'm scratching my head on that one. He'll definitely see some playing time, and I mean he'll get it together, with the offense. But yeah, it's going to be fun to watch.
Receivers wise, who do you think is going to excel that we haven't seen in the past? Because this wide receiver group is pretty. It's a little bit uncertainty. Mark Pope, 5-star recruit, still really hasn't done much.
Yeah.
Mike Harley, we've seen flashes. What receiver do you think is going to just take off in this offense?
I would like to say Harley.
Yeah,
I think Harley's gonna hit that next level. I think he realizes, this is his last year. So I believe he's a senior, right? That's
Mike Harley. Yes, he is a senior.
Yeah. Okay. I believe he knows this is his last year. This is his last shot. So I think he's gonna, especially in this new offense. I think he's gonna really have a great opportunity to shine.
Absolutely. I think Keyshawn Smith. I know early just kind of assessments of him said he was really fast. He's a late snag into the signing class.
Yeah.
But I think those late snags that you don't really recruit all the way through, kind of under the radar guys, they may work out better in the long run because you don't expect them to be this great talent. So.
And there seems like there's an extra chip on their shoulder as well. That's just what it seems like to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at Lamar Jackson. He was offered by Miami on National Signing Day to play safety, goes to Louisville and wins the Heisman Trophy. Now he's a star NFL quarterback. So
I know.
You really never know. Hey, who else? I know we talked a little bit about Miami, but who in the ACC or just someone we're playing, who do you might scare you or just might surprise a lot of fans, you think?
This might not surprise a lot of people, but North Carolina scares me.
North Carolina, okay.
Yeah, man. Sam Howell, and he's good. As a true freshman, he balled out up there.
He played very well.
Yeah, I'm nervous about them. Mac Brown, he's building something. I didn't expect it, honestly. I was like, oh, Mac Brown, way past his prime.
Right.
Like he's like 90 or whatever. But no. But I just didn't expect it. But yeah, they had a pretty good season, especially they won 2 or 3 games the season before, or something like that.
Yeah, they went from 2-10.
Yeah. So that's a team you have to watch out for.
I can see why a lot of people are high on UNC, but I also believe sophomore slumps, there's a reason why they happen well. And I know Sam Howell had a very good freshman year, but I think that was his ceiling.
Yeah.
I really do. I'm not worried about UNC because I know Miami offensively actually they didn't play their best game. They didn't finish drives, and they still only lost by 3 points, and their defense wasn't the best that game either.
Yeah, good point.
The only thing I'm scared about UNC if we play like a 12 o'clock or like a 3:30 game, but if we have UNC under the lights at Hard Rock Stadium, in a good crowd, sold out crowd, or just, enough to make a lot of noise, more than Virginia. But I think we're going to be fine because it's hard to play at Hard Rock at night in front of a good crowd. We don't lose a lot of games.
Yeah. People who's never been to Hard Rock, they don't realize how loud it is. It is extremely loud. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Exactly. And let's go over Miami's season real quick. What I know it's really early. What's your prediction on this season so far? Then I'll chime in on mine.
I am cautiously optimistic. I think it's got to be a 10 win or bust season. I mean, our schedule is highly favorable this year. There's not a game that when I look at our schedule, there's not a game and I say we can't win that game. So definitely, I think we have to win 10 games. We have to win 10 games this year.
And, let's say Manny Diaz doesn't get to 10 wins. Let's say he goes 8-4, 9-3. Is Manny Diaz on the hot seat?
Yeah, I think so.
You would? Okay.
I think so. And the only reason why I say this, which I haven't brought this up to a few people lately with everything going on, but towards the end of last season and the beginning of this offseason, I talked to some people that are down there in my pretty connected, and some alumni, and they're like, "Look, he doesn't win 10 games, he's likely to be out." I'm like, "Wow, really?" So I mean, maybe not 9 wins, but if he was to win, 7-8 games, I mean, it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot.
Include now, I'm sure when they told you this, coronavirus wasn't even in the back of their heads or anything. The spring is canceled, so I think that does add a little weight to Coach Diaz kind of job security, because that is tough to any coach not having a spring. I mean, I get that.
Know what? That's actually a great point. I wasn't really thinking about that, to be honest with you.
The schedule is easy. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's flat out easy.
There'll have to be if he doesn't win 10 games this season, with everything going on in spring, I mean he should get a pass, But I mean, I say that if we win 4 games, he's gone. You know what I mean?
Right. No, absolutely.
8-9 wins, but like I said, back before coronavirus is even a thought in anybody's mind. I mean, talking to some guys that were, pretty notable alumni that I talked to, as well as a few guys that are connected in the program. They're like, "Look, it's 10 win or bust." So,
and how's their face? I don't know if you've spoken to these people, throughout the offseason, but has their faith at all changed since the hirings that Coach Manny Diaz made? Because I'm sure you spoke with them after the Louisiana Tech loss or just throughout the last season. But the changes he's made, the flips and recruitment, I mean, that's really got me in the light of, I want to see Coach Diaz's vision played out. I want to see Rhett Lashley in his offense.
And it speaks volumes for Manny Diaz to be willing to change. He realized he messed up with the Enos hire.
Yeah.
And, he was willing to make that change. We've had coaches in the past. Golden didn't want to fire his best friend. That's
right.
If Golden would have fired D'Onofrio and we would have got a decent defense in at Miami, I think Golden could have lasted a few more years. Now that might not be a popular thing to say, but Mark Richt didn't want to hire an offensive coordinator, which was super tough. I mean, you have your son as a quarterback coach, and do you fire your son? What do you do there? But his willingness to change. And me personally, I didn't think any changes were going to come this season. I thought he was going to go. I thought he was going to. Now this might be me just kind of giving up, but I just thought that he was going to say, "You know what? Oh, this is our first year. Let us build, and next year will be better." But nah, he cut the cord, man. He was ready to get some change in there, and that's one thing I love about Manny.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, one thing I do I am interested in seeing moving forward, and I obviously I hope the defense plays well. I'm not rooting for a coach to do bad just to get him out. I want to see if he's willing to make changes on the defensive side of the football, because I feel like if you take the University of Miami job and you compare it to some of the coaches' resumes we have on the defensive side of the football, I don't know they match up to this job level. I
Yeah.
truly don't. And I
Yeah.
get that they're students of the Coach Manny Diaz system,
Yep.
but I don't really like that coaching tree. And I think we
Yeah.
can get a better linebackers coach. I think Banda, there's an argument for him to stay. With the development he's had and recruitment, I think there's an argument for him to stay. But I think linebackers specifically, don't think Coach Packey's resume fits that position group to coach. What do you think? Are you?
I agree.
Go for it. Go for it.
I agree. That was actually one thing we talking to somebody real, in the program down there. They told us, late January, February, whatever it was, that Mike Rump was out. So
really?
we threw it out there.
You weren't the only ones though.
Yeah.
Kane's inside as well.
Yeah, Mike Rump is out. Now, Mike Rump got his job back because now this may not even be the truth, but this is what a source told me who has rarely been wrong. He told me that some higher ups, maybe it was Blake, I don't know who it was, board of trustees, they talked to Manny and they were like, if you're getting rid of Rump, Packey and Banda need to go.
Really?
And he kind of pushed back, and they were like, no, Packey and Banda needs to go if Rump's going to go. And then as you see, Rump is still here. So is Packey. So is Banda. So that's what I was told. Yep, that's what I was told by a guy who I trust, who's been on the money with a few things. So
I
mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, it seems like Manny doesn't want to get rid of his little core, his disciples, I guess, his little coaching tree. He doesn't want to.
And that's the thing I don't get about coaches. I don't know if it's just at Miami. I don't know if the great ones change. I don't think they do either, because Bobby Bowden had his son as defensive coordinator at Florida State.
Yeah,
for like 3 years, and they had like one of the worst records throughout that time span.
Yeah, I think it's just like a familiar, like just being familiar, I guess. Just have that connection. I don't know, but at the end of the day, you have to look out for yourself, and if you're not willing to make the changes, then you could be gone as well. So
absolutely. No, I completely agree. And we've seen that with Mark Richt, who didn't want to modernize at all. We saw that with Hal Golden and whatever the hell D'Onofrio was running. I don't even know what it was. Seemed like that was some rough years.
Oh man. The greatest thing, the quick story on that. So the Clemson game, we get beat 58-0.
Yeah.
I have tickets for that game.
I was there too.
I'm 6 hours away. Well, I sold my tickets like 2 days before. I had something come up. I was super mad. I sold my tickets. I sold my tickets because I was like, oh man, we have a shot at this game. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So glad I sold my tickets. But the best thing ever was for me to sell those tickets because of the beating. But if it wasn't if Clemson did us a favor. If it wasn't for Clemson, he might have lasted another year or so. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dabo Swinney, if he wouldn't have, whooped us, I don't know what would be, going on right now. I know D'Onofrio, he got a free pass for so long. He actually stayed on staff longer than Golden. he wasn't. Yeah. So, I mean, hey, it is. It truly is, and I just don't get it behind college coaches.
Yeah.
But anything else, regarding, the Coach Diaz staff, or, I know you just mentioned you've spoken to a lot of people. Is there more confidence in the room for Coach Diaz? Or are people all in on Rhett Lashley? Like, we're just going full house on Rhett Lashley to be the savior? Or
pretty much, man. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you look at how well our defense was last year, and I mean, if our defense wasn't on the field every 3 minutes, it seemed like they could have been even better. So we have a top, what was our offense ranked last year? Like in the
I
hundreds.
mean, it was bad.
If we would have had if we would have had the 30th ranked offense in the nation, there's no telling what our record would have been.
Oh
Honestly.
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I think that that all the cards are on Lashley to make something happen.
Yeah, no, and I truly think, I mean, the best offensive performance we saw was probably against Louisville.
Yeah,
And defensively, we didn't play a good game at all. If you look at
yeah,
the
we did.
numbers.
And I mean,
Um,
if you think back, I mean, Jaron Williams, he could have been partying the night before that game as well, and he still came out. You never know.
but look, I mean, look at the games who we lost to. You know, let's look at Georgia Tech. I mean, offensively, that was a complete disaster.
Horrible.
It's like we rigged the game. Like we betted money against ourselves to lose the game.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I was
That
there. It was
really,
treacherous. I mean, I feel like I go to all the games we lose, but that's a different story.
yeah. The I mean, the Florida game was such a heartbreaker because we were in that game. Oh my gosh.
We were in it. We played. I mean, giving up 10 sacks to any team is awful.
And to still be in it after giving up 10 sacks is incredible in itself.
Right. Absolutely.
A few small mistakes, a field goal hit here or there. If JT doesn't fumble the punt, who knows what
Right.
happens.
And that could have changed the
Crazy.
season too. A win against
Yeah.
Florida that brings momentum to North Carolina. I'm sure we play with a bigger chip on our shoulder. That it's a momentum thing. We go 0-2 instead of 2-0.
And
I
it's
mean,
just
it's
it's
crazy.
yeah, it's horrible.
It's crazy. And offensively, we were, look at the Louisiana Tech game. Look at the FIU game. I don't think we played that bad defensively.
Yeah.
And our offense was completely not even part of the game at all. So just put in a moderate offense where we can just score. Just give me 31 points. I think that's a good, solid winning record.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
So you're going to stick with 10-2.
Oh boy, yeah. Why not? Why not?
Why
I'll
not?
do it.
10-2?
I'll do it. Why not? I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, man. Why not?
Did you say 10-2 last season? Because I said 10-2.
I'm sure I did. I probably
Okay.
did. And at one point, I probably said national champions, which is crazy. No, I'm joking. But yeah,
Now,
I'm pretty sure I said 10 wins last year.
10 wins. Now, those 2 losses, who are you giving it to?
Oh man, maybe well, I'll say NC. North Carolina would be
North
one.
Carolina? Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Another one. I don't know. We might. It might be like a sleepwalk game. We might be sleeping against Virginia Tech. Hopefully not. I don't know. I don't really see Michigan State beating us, honestly.
Really? Okay. I'm not familiar with them, but
I don't see them. I don't see
okay.
them beating us. I'll say Virginia Tech. I'll say we're going to sleepwalk against, or I don't know. We're going to sleepwalk against somebody. I could see it.
Okay. I'm going to say 9-3.
Okay.
Because I know we're going to split one against Virginia and Virginia Tech. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
But like you said, we may fall asleep at Charlottesville or in Blacksburg, either one. Because Miami tends to do that randomly.
Oh, yeah.
Blacksburg and just completely not even show up. Or they play really well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to split one there. North Carolina's depends on the game. If it's a day game, a 12 o'clock game, just depends.
I agree with that. Yep.
But if it's a night game, that's a win.
Yeah.
And I know we're a better team than Michigan State, but it is their homecoming game. That's probably going to be the biggest game their new head coach is going to have. So
I didn't realize that.
So it's going to be sold out. We haven't won a non-conference away game since I think Texas A&M, which was in 2007, 2006.
That's depressing.
That's just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I didn't realize it was the homecoming game.
Yeah, it's their homecoming game.
Whew.
And that's a good point by Orange and Greenblood. We sleepwalk after bye weeks. So anything after a bye week, that may be a loss too.
Which I need to that's a great thing. I need to ask a few people that I talked to about what is Manny Diaz going to change. Something Manny was doing this year did not work after bye week. I don't know what it was. It just did not work. So yeah, that was super weird this year. I don't know. It was super. We don't need any bye weeks. Let's just play.
And Jason, have you heard if Diaz King is taking over the locker room? Is he the go-to leader? Because the leader is the quarterback.
I have not heard. I would assume. Um, yeah, I haven't heard if he's really taken over the locker room or not. But I would assume that he's there's a lot of eyes on him. He's the new kid on the block. So
Right, absolutely. I heard he was killing it in the spring. I heard he looked great. I heard
yeah,
he was
oh yeah,
throwing. They haven't seen passes like that since Brad Kaya. That's what I heard.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I agree.
And if we can get a dual threat Brad Kaya, I think we're good.
Yeah. Poof. If Brad would have been dual threat, yeah, that'd been great.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Is Miami your ACC Coastal champion this season?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, yeah,
You're gonna have
yeah,
them. Okay.
yeah, man. Like I said, I'm gonna drink the Kool-Aid, and it might come back to bite me like it does every year. But yeah, I'm gonna say we're gonna be playing Clemson. We won't win that one, I don't believe, but I think we'll be
Right.
there.
But here's my thing. Here's kind of my 2 cents regarding that. This is so dumb of me to think of it, but let's say we play Clemson, and let's say we go 11-1, 10-2.
Yeah.
Clemson's been to the ACC title game. This is like, all right, let's just get to the college football playoffs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the pride isn't there anymore.
It's just another game for them.
Maybe not just Miami, but maybe North Carolina, maybe Virginia Tech surprises Clemson or gets in a big lead in the first half.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking out loud, just going to a consistent ACC championship game where you just walk through every opponent that means nothing. It gets old.
Yeah, I definitely see your point. Clemson's been there year in and year out. Yeah, they could definitely, be sleepwalking and the Canes come up there and smack them in the mouth. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
But honestly, I think if Miami is going to reach the ACC championship game, 10 wins, 11 wins, it starts with cornerback play. It has to develop. And hopefully with Quincy Roche, Jalen Phillips, Gregory Rousseau putting pressure on the quarterbacks, that enhances their play, gives the quarterback less time to make good decisions.
Yeah, those three guys right there, oh my God, I can't even predict how many sacks those three guys are going to have. It's going to be
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Jalen Phillips because
Yeah.
just look at the transformation of him from last year to this year.
Yeah, for sure. If he can stay healthy, yeah, assuming he can stay healthy. I know he's had some injuries, bugs in the past, but yeah, I'm excited to watch him.
And have you heard about any player specifically that's like, hey, man, like it's completely night and day from last year. Like, watch out for this player. I heard Jabari Harvey, body transformation wise, he's just starting where he left off. High expectations are at Miami for him. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I sure haven't. I haven't really heard of any transformations or
Okay.
anything. I hope they're all just putting in a ton of work, and I hope they're still putting in a ton of work at home.
Yeah.
Even if they don't have any weights or anything, push ups, sit ups, something.
Absolutely.
Stay in shape. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Jason, all right, so we're talking ACC championship. Who is in your college football playoff? And I know it's tough to think of 4 teams. And who's your projected national champion?
Ooh, man. Well, let's go ahead and throw who in the SEC? It's gonna probably be Bama.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's been a popular one. A lot of people have been saying Alabama.
I don't see LSU. LSU's lost a lot and have lost a lot of coaches. I don't see LSU repeating.
Okay.
I actually, me and the guys on the podcast, we talk about it, and I actually see LSU losing like 3 games this year.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, man. I think they're going to take a step back.
Okay.
So I'm going to go Bama, and I know Georgia's going to be right on their coattails. I mean, Georgia's
really,
man. Georgia's going to be strong. I don't know. I don't think Georgia's going to. I don't think Georgia's going to make the playoffs, but I mean it's gonna be close.
I'm not high on Jamie Newman.
Really?
I'm not high. I don't think he's that good. I think De'Aaron King's a lot better.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree with you there for sure. Let's see here. It'd be hard not to put Ohio State in it, honestly. And Justin Fields again. I mean,
Absolutely.
so we've got Bama, Ohio State. Wow. Oregon intrigues me. I don't know if they're there yet. It's hard not to put Clemson in. I'll just go ahead and put Clemson in just because of
safe choice.
Super safe choice. I don't know why not. Let's throw Oregon in there at the fourth.
Oregon, okay.
Spot. Yeah, I mean they intrigue me. I'm a huge Mario Cristobal fan.
Right.
I want him in Miami real bad. So
do you think that's ever a possible? Is that pipeline dream dead?
I don't know, man. There was stuff around Twitter and stuff online and stuff and about how he was ready, how he said that he would pay some of his buyout to come back. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. But I don't know. I would love to have him back. I think it's good that he left and he's got head coaching experience now. So we're not the first team that he's ahead of. But I don't know, man. I'd like to have him back.
All right. And then who's your national champion?
Let's see. Wow. Let's see here. We'll just go. We'll go Bama.
You're gonna go Alabama?
Saban. Yeah, man. I think Saban's just gonna have a chip on his shoulder. Saban's gonna be ready to get back.
Jason, I've asked this question to 3 other people on this YouTube channel. The past 3 interviews, they've all said Alabama, my friend.
Really?
Yeah. They've all said Alabama.
You can't count Saban out, man. I mean, he's one of the best.
So my top 4, I actually think Saban, this is going to be his downfall. I really do. And I hope I'm right. I'm tired of seeing Alabama and Clemson. I want new faces. I was happy to see LSU win. I don't like a dynasty, it's not cool.
Yeah, unless it's Miami.
Miami. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, exactly. But I think we're very far a long way from a national title.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm going to go with Ohio State. I'm going to go with Clemson.
Yep.
I like Texas. I like what Tom Herman did. That's just a stretch. That's, my Cinderella team, whatever. But Texas is the team to look out for. And then my 4th team is I'm going to go with Auburn. I like Bo Nix. I like Gus Malzahn a lot.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Auburn. I think it's their time. And Ohio State will be my national champion. And I hate saying it, but I think Coach Day's doing a great job down there. Justin Fields is the real deal.
Yeah, I think he is as well. I don't mind your Auburn pick there. My wife's a huge Auburn fan, so she would like it. So,
yeah, awesome. Very cool, man. Well, Auburn any day over Alabama. Any day.
Yeah.
And Jason, last question, man. Do you see Coach Manny Diaz just, be honest? You don't have to scare away anyone else who's going to watch this video later. Do you see him turning the corner year 2 at all? I personally have faith in the offensive staff. I think that's a damn good offensive staff he has recruiting-wise and coaching-wise. I think that's why we're going to turn the corner. But are you trusting Coach Manny Diaz year 2 to take this on? Is he the right guy at Miami?
Yeah, I don't know if he's the right guy per se, but I think he will turn the corner, and I do think that he will take that step closer to bringing Miami back. I agree with you. The offensive staff is great. The only guy I don't know much about is Rob Likens. I don't know a whole lot about him.
He has a very good resume. Very good resume.
Well, I've seen his resume, but as far
as a wide receivers coach, at least.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I believe he's an upgrade, but I still don't know a whole lot about him. The offensive staff is a lot better than it was last year. Some key transfers. We can't rely on transfers every year, though. I love transfers.
It's a
Can't rely
Band-Aid.
on him. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think he turns the corner and has a better year this year for sure.
Well,
Especially knowing all the heat. I mean, he got a ton of heat. His first year, he got a ton of heat. And, I'm hours away in a different state, but we are all so tired of losing. I mean, this is Miami. I mean, we're not supposed to lose like this. We're supposed to go into stadiums and beat the hell out of them and then leave. And it just hadn't been happening.
yeah, I can't remember the last time we went into an ACC Coastal game, ACC conference game, away game, home game. I think Louisville was the last team, if you want to, stretch that out. But
Yeah,
that we just constantly just blow out conference opponents. Like
yeah,
it's an automatic win. I feel like every week it's like, I don't know. I really don't
yeah,
know what's going to happen.
yeah, man. We went from 58 straight, home wins to maybe 2 straight if we're lucky, 3 straight.
It's,
So,
yeah. And it's crazy because, the players wanted Larry Coker in 2001. They didn't want Barry Alvarez, but hey, Barry Alvarez is coaching 2001. I think the next 15 years are a lot of BCS title games.
yeah, I think so too. You can't the players wanted Coker. In my opinion, the players wanted Coker because the players knew they could do whatever they wanted. I mean, they did, but I mean, they balled out. But you could see it. You could tell he just started going downhill, 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 and it just didn't work out. So yeah,
I mean, to be fair too, it's not just hiring Barry Alvarez would fix everything. We swung and missed. We could have hired Mario Cristobal instead of Mark Richt. We could have hired
yeah,
Dan Mullen instead of Mark Richt. And I don't think Mark Richt was a bad hire at the time. I think it was made a lot of sense. He did a damn good job at Georgia.
yeah.
To a certain extent.
I
No, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I agree with Romberg when Brett Romberg when he talks about Richt. I think, like you said, Richt was a great hire at the time, but I think Richt was kind of in retired mode. I think he just kind of came down. Let's give Miami 2 or 3, 4 years, maybe 4 years, see how it goes. Then I'll retire. But I mean, the heat came on him quick,
Oh yeah.
and he
It
decided to
did.
go ahead. He decided to go ahead and leave a little early. But yeah, there's been some questionable hires. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, Jason. Well, let's spend 5 to 10 minutes, quick Q&A. If anyone has a question, now is your time to drop a question. If no one has any questions, we'll end it quick. But let's see if you guys have anything to ask us, and we'll just discuss it real quick.
Yeah, man.
All right. First one from Sigmund Sandy first. Sorry, my pronunciation's awful. If everyone starts in August and we need an offensive lineman or a cornerback, would it be too late to get someone around that time?
I don't think it'd be too late. They might not have any kind of impact the first couple games, but I don't think it's necessarily too late to bring somebody in and let them jump in the playbook as quick as possible. And I mean, they'd have to do some work, but I don't think it'd be too late.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would counter that. I think it would be a little bit too late, specifically like offensive line, unless the person's coming from an spread raid offense. Where they're used to that no huddle or wide receiver itself. Because if you get let's say we go out, we get Tariq Black from Michigan, but they don't run this kind of offense at Michigan.
You're right.
So I think it will be an adjustment. But you said it well. First couple games they're probably not going to play, and then they'll slowly transition to the field. But I don't think it will be a plug-in right away. So I think it would be. It would be kind of late. All right, we got Wholesome One. Holloway has asked, name your top 5 defensive players that you are excited about this season.
Whew, man. Let's see here. Well, obviously Roche's one. Greg Rousseau's another. Those guys are going to be animals. Excited to see Sam Brooks when he can get out there.
Absolutely.
Excited to see McLeod be the anchor of the defense. Let's see another one. I like Jason Blissett. I think he's
Jason Blissett.
Yeah,
they
man,
moved him to D tackle.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
Okay.
I think he's
Or
gonna.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm excited to see how he's gonna do.
Okay. Sounds good. My top 5 defensive players that I'm excited about, it's got to be Gregory Rousseau. I'm going to stick with defensive linemen for a little while. Jalen
Yeah,
Phillips, I can't wait to see what he does. And Quincy Roche. I want to see Avery Huff and pads, man. I think he's going to be very good at Miami.
yeah,
And, man, I'm excited about our safety group as a whole. I think Gervin Hall is going to have a breakout year. I really do. The game has slowed down. It was his first year really playing in
yeah,
all the games. He got a lot of snaps. So I think he's going to really take off this season.
yeah.
All
I
right.
agree with you there.
How many points per game is your prediction this upcoming season?
Oh man, let's see here. Um, I don't want to go too high, but I don't want to go too low. Let's see. I'll go. Give me 32 points per game.
You're going to say 32?
Let's go 32 points per game.
I'm going to say 30, but
Okay.
I'm going to take out like the Wagner game and the
Yeah,
UAB game.
Yeah.
Like 30 consistently in conference play. I think that is the number we'll probably reach. I think that gets us 9 wins. So 32, hey, I think 32 we're in business with 10.
Hey man,
So
drinking the Kool-Aid.
And then question from Jaime. What games Miami could lose this season that you just see on you're circling around? I can name you quite a few right now, like Virginia Tech, UNC, Michigan State, for example. Even Temple, first game of the season, I'm kind of like, yeah, I just don't know.
Oh, man, yeah. Hey, Temple's been really screwing us here lately, so you never know. Temple gave us Roche, so that's good. But
Right.
yeah, I'll agree with that. Both the Virginia and Virginia Tech game. I actually went to Miami versus Virginia last year. It was super fun. Um, so yeah, I'll say both of those. Of course, I'll throw UNC out there, and yeah, we'll go with those.
And believe it or not, UAB actually they're supposedly predicted to be a solid team going into this
They
season.
are, yeah, man. It's been remarkable what they've done from disbanding the program to bringing it back. Yeah,
But if Miami loses to Temple, Wagner, or UAB, I think Manny Diaz, there's got to be
I'm gonna
he's
lose
gonna
my mind.
yeah. I think everyone can agree. Like, okay, you lose in North Carolina, okay, but not. I mean, I think we passed the Louisiana Tech FIU stage by now for Coach Diaz.
Yeah, hopefully.
Do you think Jalen Phillips possibly can take Quincy Roche's spot as a starter?
Whew. That's a good one. That's a good one. I don't think so. I mean, I could see Phillips getting a lot of playing time, but I just don't think. I think Roche's going to be your guy. I mean, he was dominant this past season.
Okay.
He was on another level.
And I think that's the plan as well, is for Roche to be the starter and Phillips to
Yeah,
come in and just take off where he left off.
yeah,
I think it would be a bad sign if Roche's performance isn't as expected
yeah,
than
yeah.
what
Agree.
when we offered him. So I want him to do well. I think Jalen Phillips to kill it as well, but I want Roche to do really well. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, man.
And then we'll do one more question, unless I say a really good one. What scenario do you see happening if we lose the first game?
All right. Well, if any of you guys have a Twitter or follow me on Twitter, I will be going nuts. I will be going insane. That's just kind of what I do. So yeah, I'll be fired up. I'll probably drop a emergency podcast. I'll probably come back on your show and we would just rant for an hour straight. But yeah, it would be pretty bad. It would be fire Manny Diaz from a lot of the fan base. Day one, right after that game. I know a lot of the higher ups wouldn't be happy at all. Yeah, it would be crazy.
And then this is my question. I want to ask you, and I'm not. It's not. I feel like I try to discredit Coach Diaz when I ask these questions, but I'm a creative person in that sense. I like hypothetical thinking.
Yeah,
Man, if you're the AD, you have the your responsibility is to hire the next football coach at Miami, and just be realistic with this. don't be like Nick Saban because it's not reality. Who would you go after?
Okay, so you're telling me that Nick Saban and Bill Belichick, coming down to Miami together is out of the question?
That's completely not real. That would never happen in my life. And in my lifetime.
Oh, I
At the
know.
University of Miami now.
That's a dream. Who I would hire? I like obviously Mario. Who is Minnesota's head coach? I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, PJ Fleck.
Row the boat. Yeah, PJ Fleck. I like PJ a lot. I don't know if PJ would fit the culture down in Miami or not.
Right, yeah.
I really like PJ though. I don't know if he'd fit. Let's see, another one. I don't know, man. I might just have to go Mario. I'm just a huge Mario fan. I might just have to stick with Mario on that one.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
I mean, he fits the culture. He's from here. I mean, or from there. Excuse me. I mean, it's just yeah.
No, I would completely agree. I think if the ship's sinking, you got to go down with your own.
Yeah.
And if Mario can't save the ship from sinking, then I don't think anyone can.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like assholes. I like running up the score. I like saying F you to opponents.
Yeah, I agree.
So honestly, I would go after Urban Meyer and just be like, here's 10 million. And I don't care if you put us in probation the next 10 years, give me a national title and just call it a day. I mean, that's just me as an AD, but
why did I not think of Urban Meyer? Yeah, that's a great one, dude. Because I agree with you. It's like Jimmy Johnson used to say, like score as many points as you can. I mean, it's not his fault. It's not Jimmy Johnson said like it's not his fault that his second stringers are better than your starters.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just run the score all the way up. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jason, man, it was a pleasure having you on. I really enjoyed this time with you. If you guys don't know about Stadium Drive podcast, everyone definitely go give it a listen. The Amon Richards interview dropped yesterday. Jason, you have the floor, man. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, man. Just I appreciate you having me on. This is the first time I've did a live video, so I was a little nervous. On the podcast, you can stop, edit, and all that good stuff. But
okay, cool.
Yeah, man, it was a pleasure jumping on. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, everybody check us out. We're on Twitter at Stadium Drive Pod. And like you said, we did a Mon Richards episode that dropped this week, and we did some more former Canes, and also former we did some sports writers, and we did Josh Scobie, who played for the Jags, and Lane Adams, who plays professional baseball, a few XFL players. So yeah, check it out.
Hey Jason, who do you have back there sign those balls?
Don Mattingly is one.
Mattingly, okay.
The other I have Dale Murphy.
Dale Murphy, wow, that's a big name.
I'm a big Braves fan, and
absolutely.
A lot of these balls are like a game used. I've gotten them during games.
Very cool.
So I've got Julio Teheran, who played for the Braves, and Ciarte.
Yeah.
BJ Upton signed one time.
You got a Julio Franco one? He played there for like 40 years, man. You got to have one.
I don't. I have a game used Nick Markakis bat behind me, and also a Matt Kemp autographed bat behind me as well. But,
very cool. I got a Hank Aaron signed picture. That's
good.
a big one. That's a big one in Atlanta. So
yeah.
All right, Jason. It was a pleasure having you on, man. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for coming on. If you weren't able to come on the show, we always have it recorded. So Jason, thank you so much, man. It's always all about the you guys.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Anytime.